Hello, I'm Sarah Bramall, one half of the Coaching Catalysts. Happy Tuesday, good to be here with you today. And here I am live over on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and also on Instagram. So wherever you're catching me from, come and say hello. Would really love to hear how you are and how you're doing today. Apologies because I'm actually a little bit early. I think we were scheduled for 1 o'clock. So hopefully if you're just logging on now, you can come and join me and pop over and say hello and let me know how you are doing today. So just to introduce me, just in case you don't know who I am and what we mean by the Coaching Catalyst. So I'm one half of the Coaching Catalyst duo alongside my lovely co-founder, Rebecca Daniel. And together we are both transformation coaches. So we're both qualified transformation coaches. We are coach trainers and we are NLP practitioners. And what we do together is that we support women. So whether you are in a profession, in a career, or whether you're a business owner, we help you to prioritize your mindset and your well-being so that you can thrive in all areas and so that you can then go out and achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve in your career, in your business, because you know that you've got that foundation of support, that you're taking care of your mindset, you're taking care of your well-being. That is super, super important to us. So I'm going to be speaking today all about finding that inner confidence. So the title of today's live is about how to find your inner confidence, because I believe that we've all got it inside of us, but there's so much stuff that can get in the way of us shining our light. Now, I was very lucky yesterday to be in central London. I went in with my husband and our children to be there for Queen Elizabeth's funeral. It was a really moving occasion. It was a really moving time to be in London, to witness all of the people who had showed up to pay their respects to the late Queen. There was a really calm but kind of somber atmosphere, I would say, at the funeral and in the parks where we were watching it on the screens. But it was such a privilege and such an honor to be there and to have the opportunity to celebrate the life of a woman who has impacted on so many of us in so many different ways. Hey, who's that joining on Insta? Very, very welcome. Do pop on and say hello. And again, if you're joining on Facebook or joining on LinkedIn, do pop in and say hello. And it got me thinking about Queen Elizabeth, because obviously we've followed her journey, right, from being a young child to being made the Queen, having that unexpectedly kind of given to her, and seeing her and her sort of her journey, her reign develop, and see how she developed and blossomed over as a woman over the course of time. Hey Sarah, Blossom Tree Social, great to see you. And hey Marilla, great to see you as well. So I'm going to be talking today about tapping into that inner confidence, because I think what we saw in Queen Elizabeth, such a good role model for so many reasons, that she never made it all about her, right? It was never about the fact that she was the Queen or it was all about power. For me, it was all about service. It was all about that life of service. And the thing is, for so many of us, we've got that calling, we've got that little voice or that spark of light that's inside of us that wants to be nurtured. But so often We tell ourselves the stories that I can't do this, this isn't going to work for me, I don't have what it takes. You know, all of those stories that we tell ourselves. And the reason I know all of those stories that we tell ourselves is because I have told myself that story as well. But when we listen to that spark of light or that inner voice and we nurture it, that's what allows us to get our strengths, get our mission, get out into giving our service to the world. So, how do we do that? How do we take those first steps to nurture that inner confidence? First of all, it's giving ourselves permission to listen, to not quash that voice or to quash that light, allowing ourselves to listen to it, to listen to what it's telling us, because we're given dreams for a reason. Secondly, it's to really tune in to what our strengths are and what our experience is, because we spend so much of our lives telling ourselves that we're not good enough. We spend so much time focusing on the things that we haven't done or the things that have gone wrong, because we do have brains that are wired for negativity. So we do have to do some work on this to make sure that we start to tune in and think, okay, what are the strengths that I have got? And sometimes when we're thinking about these strengths, it's not always the obvious strengths or our kind of go-to strengths. Sometimes it's looking back at different areas of our lives and thinking, what were the strengths that I tapped into there? Or what was the skill set that I used there? And acknowledging those, acknowledging they are part of you, they're part of your journey. If you're just joining, say, come on and say hello. You're very, very welcome. The second thing that I want to say to you is that when you've got that dream, and sometimes that dream starts with a little whisper or a little glimmer of light, when you've got that, please be really careful who you share that dream with. And the reason I say that, hey, Wixbud, lovely to see you. Thanks for joining. The reason I say please be careful who you share your dream with is because in the early days, when you've got that little dream that's like a whisper or a little light, it can be vulnerable. It can be really easily quashed. And so in order to nurture that dream, it's really, really important that you build the self-belief yourself, you build up your strengths yourself, and you build up that evidence, but also that you find and you connect with other people who have also had that little whisper of like, this is what I really want to do, or listen to that voice of, this is what I really want to do, because those people will understand what it's like to have that and to bring something out into the world. Often the people closest to us will, sometimes, often inadvertently, to be fair, because they've often got our best interests at heart, but often they will be quite quick to stamp on that because they want to keep us safe, they want to keep us where we are. And that was definitely the case for me when I got to the point where I thought I really want to pursue my coaching. Almost all of the people really, really close to me, with some exceptions, but almost all of them were like, are you sure, Sarah? Do you really want to do this? You're a really good teacher. It's a secure profession, etc., etc. Why don't you just stay safe? And so I had to dial down those voices a little bit and find other people who were either at the same stage as me or people who were further ahead than me, so that they could say to me, hey, Sarah, do you know what? I know it feels hard and I know it feels impossible at the moment, but it is possible. So that's my tips for you today in terms of tuning into that inner confidence. Number one, listen. Listen to that little voice or listen to that little spark inside of you and give it space to nurture it. Number two, make sure you keep your mind focused on your strengths, your experience, and your skills. And do that regularly. Do that by writing it down or journaling or sharing it with somebody else, because so often we're focused on the negative. And thirdly, be really careful who you share your dreams with. So it might be that you don't necessarily always share with the people closest to you. Sometimes you need to be proactive in finding people who are on a similar path, a similar journey, and sharing with them so that they can support you by being able to say, yes, I understand. Yes, I've been there too. Yes, let me help you to nurture that. So that's my 3 tips for you today. Really, really love to hear your feedback. What do you think about that? Now, those of you joining me on Facebook, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn, you'll be able to see in the banner at the bottom of our screen, I've got the banner reminding you that we have got Find Your Brave coming up in London on Friday, the 11th of November in a central London hotel, beautiful hotel. All lunch and refreshments will be provided for you. But the important thing about that day is that we are going to use that day to share with you what we usually only have the opportunity to share with our one-to-one clients, which is the tools and the techniques that we use to help our clients find that confidence, find that brave, get a really clear picture of what that looks like. But then, secondly, to give you those tools and techniques to help you to build your confidence so that you can finish this year thinking, yeah, do you know what? This is it. I'm going to bring this thing to reality. This little voice, this little whisper, I'm going to bring this into reality. So if you're on LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube, you can see the link in the banner across the bottom. If you're here on Instagram with us, just pop into our bio and find the link there. So it's bit.ly/Find Your Brave Live. And I promise you, come to that day, you will not regret it, because we have got the most incredible women coming who are on that journey of bringing their mission into the world, but recognize that we all need to work on our confidence in order to step into that brave and to find our brave and to share our message to the world. And I'm still working on my confidence every single day. On Saturday, in my work that I do for the Coaching Academy, I was training 100 people live online from all different parts of the world. 6 hours worth of training. I still have to find my brave and work on my confidence in order to be able to deliver with that. So it's always a work in progress for every single one of us, but it requires thought and it requires investment, and it requires being around people who get it, not necessarily doing the same thing as you, but get that journey of personal professional development. Okay, enough from me today. I'm going to leave you to enjoy your lunch, but thank you so much for being here with me. I really hope that you have a great day. If you've got any questions about Find Your Brave, go click on that link, but also don't be afraid to message us or to email us. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. All right, that is it from me now. Thank you for being here. Take care, and I will be back soon, I'm sure. Bye-bye.